Starcasting to you from the City of Angels. Hello, everyone. I'm Karis. Thank you so much for being here and listening to the Voice of Astrology podcast. This is our astrology cosmic superpower for the week beginning Sunday, April 23rd through Saturday, April 29th, 2023. Let's journey together with astrology and explore how to connect with the stars, the planets, the energies for our new week ahead. Now, tonight, just as we're starting off the week, if the skies are clear wherever you are, do not miss the evening, the sunset and the evening sky, because it's so beautiful. We have the moon and Venus in the sign of Gemini making a conjunction. So when we have this moon-Venus conjunction in Gemini, it's the new baby moon. We just had the new moon, the eclipse, and about 2-3 days after the new moon, when the sky is dark, we don't see the moonlight, then about 2.5 days-ish after that new moon moment, we start to see that beautiful crescent moon. And now over the weekend, we're having that crescent moon, that new moon, conjunct Venus in the sign of Gemini. It's so beautiful. I saw it last night. They weren't completely or totally near each other. It was still gorgeous. It was just enchanting, spectacular. But over the weekend, tonight, if you get a chance, look up at the night sky as we're going into sunset, dusk, and you see the evening sky. So it is so beautiful. Also, Mercury is now fully retrograde in the sign of Taurus, and Mercury will remain retrograde in the sign of Taurus, ruled by Venus. Venus in Gemini, nice little benefit there. So we will have Mercury retrograde until May 14th. So the Mercury retrograde is slow down, take a second and third look. You may be reconsidering bringing someone back into your life because we're looking at a Mercury retrograde ruled by Venus. So if you're considering this, and Mercury retrogrades, they bring people back into our lives anyway, friendships, all kinds of things. But if you are considering bringing someone back into your life in a romantic sense, because it's Mercury retrograde in Taurus ruled by Venus, take your time. You don't have to hurry up. Take a second and third look, as I always say with the Mercury retrogrades. Take a look and consider how you communicate, because we're looking at Mercury, planet of communication. Also consider the values that the both of you share or do not share, because Taurus is all about what we value and how we want to build for the future. Taurus is fixed earth. It loves to create things that are going to stand the test of time and last. Also, Taurus prefers surety, security. Now, in love, nothing is ever ultimately guaranteed. We're always taking a chance on some level when it comes to love and relationships. But this Mercury retrograde in Taurus certainly brings people back into our lives, and especially reconsidering a love romantic situation, but you don't have to rush. Mercury stations direct on May 14th, so it's a few weeks of taking your time and looking at the values you share and how you communicate. Monday, April 24th, we have the moon going to her home sign, the sign of Cancer. So when the moon is in Cancer, she's very emotional. She wants her family and familiar things around her. The moon in Cancer makes a lovely sextile 60-degree angle of opportunity to the sun in Taurus. So this blending of earth and water is very grounding. It's very healing. The moon in Cancer also makes a lovely supportive water trine flow to Saturn, now in Pisces, ruled by Jupiter. The moon at home in Cancer, which is being in touch with how you feel, your body, your emotions, making that water trine flow to Saturn in Pisces. This is a supportive aspect of ease that gives you the emotion, which is energy, to support not only building your dream for the future, but also whatever addictive issues you may be dealing with. And addictions, they're not always the drugs and the alcohol. Addictions can be an addiction to an attitude, anger, whatever the addictive behavior may be that is potentially blocking you from making your dreams come true, living the dream. Then this moon at home in Cancer, which is its strongest placement, gives you the feeling, the emotion of releasing the addictive behavior that is blocking from making the dream come true and moving into the future. We're in new moon energy, and moving into the future as far as how you want to build your business. That's Saturn. Your dream, your emotions, your creativity. We're looking at the element of water, which is very fertile, and it's a flow of creativity. Love this nice aspect that we're having as we start off the week on the Moon's Day. Tuesday, April 25th, now we have the Sun in fixed Earth Taurus, making a sextile aspect to Saturn in Pisces. Now, when fixed Earth Taurus, which is no nonsense, makes that aspect to Saturn in Pisces, this is Taurus saying, Saturn in Pisces, let's have a little chat here. Taurus is straight up, and it's determined. It has endurance. It gets set on a path, and it takes a heck of a lot to get a fixed sign to change course. So when the Sun in Taurus, which is the builder, the architect, Taurus is fecund, it's abundance. It's also the talents and abilities that you were born with. You just have the knack. Sure, we can develop our talents and abilities as we should, but Taurus represents with the value and talents you have, that you're just born with it. You've got the knack. And so Taurus having this aspect with Saturn in Pisces, which is what I always say, Saturn in Pisces is like Darth Vader just entered the party, and the party is over, because Saturn is serious, and Saturn takes things away where it's overindulgent, where it's too much. And so the Sun in Taurus saying to Saturn in Pisces, you better not be blocking me from building into the future. These are two powerful cosmic superpowers when we look at the Sun in Taurus making that angle, that aspect to Saturn in Pisces. We've got to move forward. And with the Sun in Taurus, nothing will stop me. This is the Sun in Taurus. Endurance, it's fixed. Takes a lot for a fixed sign to change their course. Also on this day, the Moon at home in Cancer makes a conjunction to Mars in Cancer, its fall placement. Now the Moon in Cancer at home making that conjunction to Mars in its fall. This is enough with the whining and the crying and the baby act. This is the Moon in Cancer not wanting the conflict in the family. Mars in Cancer that likes to stir the pot. This is the Moon in Cancer saying to Mars in its fall sign of Cancer, do not use family conflicts as a distraction, as an addiction. Don't stir the pot as a way of avoiding what you really want, what you really feel, and moving into the future. This acting like a big baby continues on into Wednesday, April 26th, and there's the potential for it to become even worse, overblown, over the top. This is why we want to know the energies, so that we can be aware of what the feeling and the energy is and how to avoid it if and when we can. So this continues on into Wednesday, April 26th, because the Moon is still at home. But now the Moon makes a square active aspect. A square is, come on, let's agitating, come on, let's go here. The Moon in Cancer now makes a square aspect to Jupiter in Aries. Now, Jupiter in Aries is big, of course, because Jupiter is the largest planet in the solar system and doesn't know when to quit. And Aries is, wait a second here, Moon in Cancer, it's all about me. Aries, I am. A lot of ego. Jupiter in Aries, a lot of ego can spark a big storm. Moon in Cancer, which is cold and wet, making this agitating aspect to Jupiter in Aries, which is hot, fire. So when we blend hot and cold, fire and water, this is a storm. Like how the cold comes down from the north and the heat comes up from the south. And both of these aspects do not want to budge or compromise. Moon at home in Cancer is, I know how I feel and what I want and what makes me happy. And that is the top priority. Jupiter in Aries. Yes, Jupiter in Aries can be trailblazing. It's innovative. It's bold. It's courageous. But Jupiter in Aries is also I am. It's all about me. Both are cardinal signs of the zodiac. So the cardinal signs of the zodiac, they usher us in, they lead us into a new activity. They're the boss, so to speak. When we look at Aries, Cancer, Libra, and Capricorn, these are the signs that correspond into I have to be in charge of something. I have to lead into something. The square aspect between the moon and Jupiter, where Jupiter in Aries just wants to jump right in, whole hog, big, over the top. Moon in Cancer is saying, yes, I want to move forward too, but I have to take into account first my feelings. Does it feel right? Moon in Cancer. So this midweek cosmic superpower, it's potentially getting the ball rolling in a very dramatic and stormy way, with Tuesday, Moon in Cancer making that conjunction to Mars in its fall. And then as we continue on into Wednesday, the moon still at home in Cancer, making a square to Jupiter in Aries. So what do you do when you know that the cosmic superpowers, the energies are brewing a storm, the hot and the cold, the fire and the water? You take that energy, obviously, and you channel it into something creative. It's great for exercise, for working out. It's great for taking all of this tremendous energy that is very anxious to get going with something. And it's taking that energy and saying, work it out physically, work it out creatively. We have to keep in mind that we began the Mercury retrograde in Taurus. Taurus being, look at things on a down-to-earth, common sense way. You don't have to rush. Taurus does not like to be pushed or rushed. It's going to take its time. Also, when we talk about Taurus and Cancer in these aspects, we have to bring in the aspect of money here, because this is very much about what's happening with the potential money on the table. If this is a business discussion in your life, of course you're going to talk about finances and how the money will potentially grow. If this is a romantic situation in your life, this is not about getting all caught up in the excitement and impatience of the moment and running off and getting married or moving in together, something like that, where you don't want, obviously you don't want buyer's remorse. It's just take your time. What's the rush? Slow it down. A friend of mine got involved with someone, and within a month she was calling me and saying, I'm getting married. My suggestion was maybe you should take a little bit of time, or at the very least not move in with him right away. Ultimately, a few years later, he turned out to be a disaster. Now she can't get rid of him. These are the aspects that we're having this week. To take on too much, too soon, too rushed during a Mercury retrograde. Jump right in whole hog. Sun and Mercury in Taurus. That's not the way to roll with this, because fixed signs, Taurus, It wants something that's going to endure. That's something that's going to last. Unlike the mutables that likes the change, gets bored easily and has to change it up all the time. Or the cardinals that they just want to start something new. Doesn't mean they finish the job, but they want to start something new. So this is midweek. Now, when we move into Thursday, April 27th, we do have the second quarter moon at 7 degrees Leo. 7 degrees Leo is a degree of affection and strong passions, but it's also a degree of knowing how to protect yourself. So with this 7 degrees Leo, fixed fire, this also, Leo is the heart, and the heart rules supreme. And this degree, which is also the first decanate, the first division of Leo, this is a double whammy of Leo at a degree that has very strong passions, but you gotta protect yourself. Second quarter moon phase is the phase of the moon in Leo making the square to the sun in Taurus. So there it is again. Do we run away with the passions, the moon in Leo, or do we use some good down-to-earth common sense, the sun in Taurus? Now this is the crossover point as we go into the quarter where it's heat, it's building up. This always corresponds to summertime, no matter what time of the year we're in, where the heat and the energy is building towards full moon. And this square conflict between my heart or good down to earth, stay grounded common sense. Friday, April 28th, we're looking at the moon still in Leo, making a square to Uranus and Taurus. Now, Uranus is sudden divorce, disruptions, separations. So all of this big buildup that we've been having during the week, and then the moon makes a square to the planet of divorce, Uranus and Taurus. This can be a sudden ending disruption, along with the moon in Leo on Friday, April 28th, making a square to Mercury retrograde in Taurus. Protect your boundaries. Too much, too soon, boundaries not being respected, and all of the wonderful energy that wants to plan for the future and is bringing people and situations back into your life, it can all go poof up in smoke. As we close out the week, Saturday, April 29th, the moon changes signs, and I love the moon in Virgo. Cool, dry earth Virgo, ruled by Mercury, Mercury retrograde. But the moon in Virgo helps to calm it down, along with the sun in Taurus. So this is getting focused on what Virgo loves best, the work, doing the work, loving your work, the detail of the work, and the Virgo devotion, which we love so much, which is to get to do the work that we love. Because when we're doing the work we love, we just lose a sense of limitations. It's like in your life, if you've ever done anything, prayer, meditation, work, whatever it may be, dance, of course. You can't think and dance both at the same time. But whatever it is, when you just lose yourself in something that you love, and the work doesn't feel like work, you love it. And when you find that, if you have that, ultimately, the other thing that Virgo loves is that your work will be of service. Your work will give something of value. Practical, Virgo, Earth. All of the Earth signs want to give something back that you really have use out of, that you get value out of. As we started to move towards the end of the week, Friday, it's very, very dramatic energies. But then we have this beautiful moon in Virgo over the weekend. As we're closing out the week, take a look at what potentially can be repaired in your life. Virgo is also that separation harvest process of separating what is healthy, keep this, what is poison, let it go. Virgo is very much about the health, what is good for your body, so keep it. What isn't great, let it go. It's toxic, it's poison. Because Virgo is the worker bee and does the impossible, bees are symbolic of doing the impossible. Bees are not supposed to be able to fly. Their large bodies in comparison to their little wings, bees are not supposed to be able to fly, but because they flap their wings so fast, they lift off and they do the impossible. So take a look at this over the weekend, where you're looking very closely at what you think is impossible in your life, and then do it anyway. Take off and fly like those little bees that are so essential to the survival of the planet. So what do you think that you have that can be of service? What is the work that you would like to do that can help to bring survival to the planet? This is our astrology cosmic superpower for the week, and the week always has an energy thread, let's say, that's running through the week. So as we start off the week and we're in the new baby moon phase, and it's all about things being fresh and new and go for it, and people returning into your life, that's the Mercury retrograde, and the sun in Taurus, which wants to build, wants to create something of value that will last, that will endure. Then we have very dramatic energies midweek. Keep it cool, keep it practical, channel that energy in a productive way, especially physically. That will help you out. And then as we go into the weekend and close off the week, it calms down with the moon in Virgo, which is focus on yourself and what you love to do, and how that can be an essential component for you in your life, and giving something back of service, which is what Virgo loves to do. Fabulous week if we deal with the energies correctly and in the most healthy, positive way. Thank you, everyone. I will see you all in the stars. Have a fabulous week. Thank you.